Hi everyone, it's Beth, and today I'm going to talk about how things are going for me with all these crazy dApps that I'm in. So, stay right there. Okay, so before I get started, if you're new to the channel or you just have not yet subscribed, then please do take a moment, hit the little red subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on post notifications, and of course, please leave the video a like because they're awesome. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about today is IOST Bank. This contract has doubled since I got into it, so I'm feeling really good about that and what that means for me actually being able to get my ROI from this contract. So if you'll recall from my previous video, I did make an investment in both the bronze plan and the gold plan. I opted not to invest in the infinite plan because I really feel like 45 days is kind of like the upper limit for this type of contract, you know, except if it's maybe Tron Bank or something and it just did absolutely fantastic. So I thought I would take advantage of that extra percent a day over top of the infinite one because it just feels like that time frame is really long enough for my expectations. So I've done really well though. So here are my two investments so far. I've gotten almost 20% of my initial investment out of the 6.6% contract, and I've gotten 13.5% of my 4.6% investment. And like I said, the contract has doubled from when I invested in those. So I'm still, you know, and that value is still at that level. So I'm still feeling really good about my possibilities for definitely getting my ROI and even seeing some profit here in this contract. So that is fantastic. Next up, and I also think that I'm going to get my ROI at least out of this one, is the first ROI contract on IOST, which was IOST ROI. This one pays 5% for 28 days. That's a total of 140%. So it's 40% above what your initial investment was. And I've made back almost half of my investment so far. So I feel really good about that. This is, again, this is still up from where I invested in it. It is, of course, down. It's down from its top though. So this seems to have topped out around 10 million IOST. And, but I still feel really good about being able to possibly see some profit here in this one. So that's great too. Next up is IOST Play, and I'm still waiting to see what my portion of the div pool is expected to be with this one. Again, this is still in beta, but it is about just under 62% of the way through round one, where if you play with 5 IOST tokens, you receive 4 iPlay tokens. So I have a pretty nice holding for me of iPlay tokens, and I certainly cannot wait to see how this goes. So there we go. But this is going to decrease in the next round to playing with 50 IOST will get you 35 iPlay. So that's like the equivalent of 50 IOST gets you 40 right now. So there you go. Hopefully we'll see more in the development of this one soon, for sure. Okay, next up is Endless Game. So Endless Game is still, you know, it's not like a monster payer for me, but I did get some tokens. I have them staked. I'm getting about like 0.6 to 1 IOST every day, which of course is not very much, but I'm not having to do anything for those, so that's fantastic. So they do have the poker coming out soon on the IOST version. Of course, if you do want to play poker already, the poker is available on the EOS version of Endless Game, as well as some other games out there. I really have had some fun with Poseidon's Challenge. I don't make any divs from the div pool in the EOS version of the Endless Game, but I do earn some coins in the div pool for Poseidon's Challenge, which can be used to play that game, which is kind of fun if there's like some free time lying around. So, all right, next up is, this came out yesterday. This is sorry, P3B miner. And the fees for this one feed the P3B ecosystem, which I like a lot. So I was happy to get into this one really nice and early. And I did post a video yesterday afternoon so that if anybody else wanted to get into this nice and early, you would have that knowledge that this had just launched. So the contract has gone up quite nicely since I got in, and I'm certainly hoping that it will continue to grow. I am actually reinvesting in this one, which I don't normally do, but I did want to support this contract and the P3B ecosystem. So I'm trying to do my part here, at least for a little while. But I'm really enjoying this one, and I think it's cute and kitschy, and I like that. So, all right, next up is, so this is Tron Village 2. It might look super duper familiar to you. It certainly did to me. So here's the thing. This is the exact same contract as the original Tron Village contract. I did put this into a difference checker, and there were no differences in the code at all. So I felt comfortable that there aren't any like shady backdoors that got put into this and they were gonna do something nefarious. But this certainly is small. It's very, very small right now. So yesterday I did buy a tea shop. I've decided that because it is so small right now that I want to go ahead and put some more Tron in it and buy a confectionery. This is definitely a pretty big risk, probably more than I normally take, but I just feel like since this is so small right now, and because it is definitely riding off of the name recognition of a contract that was very successful and a team that was very, very ethical in their behavior over there at the original version of Tron Village. Now, I have absolutely no idea who is behind Tron Village 2. It is not the same team. I did ask the dev over there, or at least a person over there who I had spoken to before at the original Tron Village, and it's not them, but they certainly want you to think it is. So I think I'm gonna I'm gonna risk it here, and I am going to buy a confectionery. It is going to significantly increase my profit per hour. So because there hasn't been very much paid out so far in this contract, I'm gonna take a risk that by increasing my position, I'll be able to make my ROI and hopefully see a little bit more as well. Certainly the first version of this was very, very successful. So if this picks up any steam at all, I will be in early. So there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna buy some more. So TronLink is been giving me a hard time. Yeah. Anytime now. There we go. So I'm going to make that deposit. And now I do have just enough here in my treasury to purchase a confectionery. So that's going to bring my total profit up to 78 gold coins per hour. Of course, that's going to get split between the treasury and the spare. I'll be able to withdraw whatever comes into the spare and then reinvest whatever comes into the treasury. But because I have this larger factory, I think I'll be able to acquire some bakeries with what goes into the treasury pretty quickly. So that should really kind of get the ball rolling for me here over here pretty nicely. So that's my plan here with this one. And then over here at Tronext, things are still looking really pretty good. The div pool is down just a little bit, but again, because this one doesn't pay its entire dividend pool every time it pays out. It is kind of holding pretty steady, which is, you know, really kind of nice. So I'm really pretty happy with where I am with my hourly payouts. I have been trying to keep it around 6, so I'll probably end up playing just a little bit more in the dice game, or maybe in the Plinko style game. Those seem to be working really well for me. I really like slots too, so I might play a little bit of slots as well, but that's, you know, that's just kind of fun. So, but that's what I'm doing here with this one. So I'm still really happy with this right now. This is definitely, I think, the best casino dApp that's out here right now as far as profitability. And I think that is because they're not paying out the entirety of their div pool every time they pay div. So there you go. And then over here, I mean, Tron Raider is still, it's actually holding really pretty strong. It did, I mean, it really declined quicker than I thought it was going to, especially because it really has a very interesting interface, you know? So, I mean, I don't think I really have any rewards here. But anyway, so sorry, this isn't showing. But I mean, yeah, I mean, the interface here is interesting, and they do keep updating it. They give the animation a little bit more that's going on. So, you know, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what the map version is, and I'm definitely happy to continue holding the tokens in this one. So, all right, everything else is really kind of business as usual. I reached my ROI here with Tron Bank, which is awesome. There's still 72.5 million Tron in this contract, and I have already gotten to my ROI. So that is fantastic. I am definitely going to see some profit in this one. Couldn't be happier. As well as, no, Tron Bank. So, bankroll, that's the one. So bankroll here, I've also reached my ROI here from my total fund credits. I have been able to withdraw more than that so far. So that is super great, and I'm really, really happy. So of course, everything else from here is nothing but profit, and that is fantastic. So I haven't actually tried Bank Luck yet. There's, you know, if I'm going to be gambling on dice, I really want to play Tronext instead. So that's how I feel about that. But that's how everything's going for me right now. So if you did like the video, then please do go ahead and leave it a like. I certainly appreciate them. And if you'd like to see more from me, then please do subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those down in the comment section. And as always, I would like to thank you so very, very much for your time today. I will see you next time.